So welcome to another episode of Tilly's Rambles. We're here mid-February, and it's actually like upper 40s, 50 degrees out, so it's pretty nice. Today we're going to be checking out Kaaterskill Falls, the upper section. We're going to be heading over to the Laurel House parking lot, and we're in Haynes Falls, New York. So we're going to head down Laurel House Road and check out the parking area and make our way to the falls. So we've arrived at the parking area down here for the Laurel House Trail. It's a nice lot. They redid this a couple years ago, added a whole lot of spots to it. Fortunately, this all fills up in summer, and you can be waiting in a long line going up the road looking for a spot. And you do have to park in the parking lot. If you try parking on the road, you will get ticketed and towed. Unfortunately, Haynes Falls, Tannersville, Hunter, is another one of those NIMBY towns. You know, let's advertise all our areas. Come here, spend your money. Oh, but if you try to park anywhere, we're just going to tow you and ticket you and fine you as much as we can, make you not want to come back. So if you come here, just be very careful with the parking. And especially over at the other side of the falls at 23A, they've eliminated the parking area there. So if you try parking, you will be towed and fined. So we got our trail here. And they even had some bathroom porta potties, which is nice. Unfortunately, this whole area is a dumping ground for garbage in the summer. People leave their day trash next to the porta potties and the porta potties, so it's kind of a mess. Even though they have air-proof garbage cans here. So this is our parking lot. And coming through here originally was two competing railroads coming to reach the Kaaterskill Mountain House. One of them, which we showed over at Stony Cove with the Ulster and Delaware, that came in here. And that was in competition for, I can't remember the name of it, but it was one set up by the owner of the Kaaterskill Mountain House. So these were running side by side. If you view the video, Rails to the Catskills, you see more about that. So in here, you can see one of the road beds, what's left of it. Probably there's no trespassing signs here, so I'm not going to go really into this. That would have gone probably a small trestle across the creek to the other side. And so right next to it, you can see how close they are right here. So there's behind those trees, you can see the roadbed for one of the railroads, and right over here, the roadbed for the other railroad. Now this one here, again, you would have had another trestle going across the creek. This continues now going down that way, and this is now Kaaterskill Rail Trail. And if you view my videos, Rail Trail Fact or Fiction, on the Kaaterskill line, you can see what a disaster that this trail is. They cut the trees, but they left and pulled up the rails, but they left all the ties and called that a rail trail. So you really can't bike down it without falling all over. I don't know if I haven't been down since. I imagine the ties are all still there. From the parking lot, originally we had a road coming down here, and this was the original trail from the parking lot to reach the falls. And a couple of years ago they redid this really nicely, and we have have a new trail coming in, so I'm going to head over there, and which also comes from the parking lot. So we'll check that out. This is the rebuilt trail coming through here. It's actually kind of nice in the summertime. I think it's all like when they had it done nicely, it's like a cinder ash trail, and we'll just kind of cut right through the pines. So we'll catch up at the end. And they got a couple nice drainage features here. Actually, unfortunately, a lot of people just cutting through the woods here and making their own trail. And some drainage ditches. So as we get up here, just a little bit up front, bed here. So get an intersection here. So going up this road, this is where we just came down. This is the path I showed you a minute ago, which was the original trail coming through here. And that just continued. So this is kind of, can continue right down there or continue this way. We'll go this way for a minute. Yeah. So we get to an intersection here. Again, this is going to go back to the viewing platform. Up here we got a bridge. I'll show you the Kaaterskill Creek. So again, this bridge is new. This was all put in a couple years ago when they redid the area. Prior to that, you just kind of walked across the creek. So going upstream, this is going to take you back to the dam at North-South Lake. And we'll show all that in another video. Going downstream is going to head toward Kaaterskill Falls, which we'll head to in a minute. So just across the bridge here now, we got an intersection here. And we still got it pretty icy here. So if we continue up the road, this is going to eventually take us back to the road by the South Lake Dam at North-South Lake State Campground. Coming the other way, so 0.6 to the parking lot. Coming the other way, coming up the hill here. This is going to take you to a couple spots. You can stay on the Blue Trail, which is going to take you over to the Escarpment Trail. You pass the Layman's Monument, which is a monument for a firefighter who died here, I believe 1900, while fighting a forest fire in the area. And you can continue on that along the Escarpment Trail, and that will wind you all the way around and take you way back over toward Boulder Rock and the overlook at the Kaaterskill Mountain, what was the Kaaterskill Mountain House. You could also, there's another trail here which will take you down to the falls as well, and eventually lead you down to 23A. And to what had once been a parking area down there, which is now closed off. The trail is still open. It's a steep, muddy steep trail. I'll tell you that. It's tough in the summer because it can be steep and wet and muddy. In the winter, it's very icy. I do not recommend trying to take it down to the falls in the winter without either spikes or crampons. Regular pair of Crocs are not going to cut it. And even the yak tracks probably going to be a little tough with some of the ice. I haven't tried it from up here. I've done it from down below, working my way back up, and it is very tough if you don't have the right footwear, and dangerous. So we're going to head back across the bridge and head down to the falls now. So back on the trail now, heading over towards the viewing platform. So we have another intersection here. So looking up, this is that other path that showed you coming down that kind of been turned into a path. I think that's the official path there, but head down along the, look at the falls from above before we head over to the viewing platform. So again, originally this was, what we're on now was the only trail here to the falls. The trail going to the viewing platform, and the viewing platform did not exist at the time. So again, when they redid this, the whole area was closed down for a while for construction. Now we have this fence in here with warning signs. Deaths have occurred in this area. Stay back from cliff edge. Yep. So this is get over here. So now we get a better view of the creek down there. Heading over to the falls. And if you look, I'm not going to go across the fence. But if you, right in there, you can see the edge of that's the top of the falls. So originally, before this fence went in, you could go down there, hang out, go play in the water, dangle your legs over the edge and everything. Problem was, every year there'd be one or two people that would slip and fall off and get killed. So I guess they got tired of cleaning up bodies, so they kind of closed this area off. If they catch you in the water within 150 feet of the falls, I guess you could be fined or arrested for that. That's why they have this fence here now. But even then, you come up here in the summer, you're still going to find people playing down there, running around. So first time I came up here, driven by on 23A plenty of times, but the first time I came up here hiking, I came up from the parking lot on 23A and made my way up to here. Trails weren't really marked too well, but the first time I got up here and started wandering around, and I had no idea what was up here. I started seeing trails here that looked like a railroad roadbed. I had no idea there were trails here or a railroad up here, and I was just kind of wandering around. Eventually I ended up in somebody's backyard, and I was like, it's probably time to turn around. So along here you can see a bunch of stonework along here. This is probably, I'm going to say, the foundations for the Laurel House Hotel, which is one of the great hotels in the area back in the 1800s, early 1900s. Trees have all grown back, so it's really tough to see where anything is. But again, in Kaaterskill Mountain House video, DVD, you see more about that. But there was a house, a big hotel right here, somewhere along here. They kind of owned access to the falls. If you were a tourist and you wanted to see the falls back in the 1800s, they actually had a dam along here somewhere that they had built. If you wanted to see the falls, you pay them $0.25. They'll open up the dam, let the water flow through, and you see the falls. But unfortunately, back in, I guess, the 1960s, DEC wanted this property, so they burnt the hotel down. Just like they burnt the Catskill Mountain House down. So much for historic preservation. Place probably need a lot of repairs, but still. So gonna head back up this, and then we'll head over down to the viewing platform. So back here at the top of the trail, got a nice sign there for viewing platform, so you can't get lost. And so it's a short trail. And again, did a nice job with the drainage. This is a sign for Kaaterskill Clove. Some of the paintings done by Thomas Cole and Asher Durand, part of the Hudson River School painters. You can do their trail, do a rubbing on here as a souvenir. You can see here in the Kindred Spirits, you can kind of see what the falls look like, even though it's kind of bunch of different scenes merged into one. So right now, today we got dirt and mud. I was here about a week ago and this was all ice, and you really kind of needed the micro spikes to get up and down this trail. So I did bring my yak tracks with me, but clearly I don't need them for this section. So this is our nice little viewing platform that they built here. So you can get a view of the falls without falling in. So we've got our falls here coming down. This is the upper falls. And that hole has kind of opened up a little bit since last week. So this is three sections to this falls. So you got these are the main ones here. And you can walk behind them. There's a swimming pool there, sort of. I have another set of falls there. And as you continue down, there's a couple more spots where you have falls. And then there's a nice big one that you would normally see from if you're driving along 23A. So the trail is down there, that's working up. I don't know if you can see it in the video. Yep, you can see there's some stairs there that have all been built when they redid the area for safety. A lot of these stones were brought in by winches and just hauled into place. So they did do a really nice job with it. That is the only trail that will work your way, that you can take to get up and down the falls on that side of the river. There are no trails on the west side of the river, of the creek and the falls. It's just cliffs. There is no trail going down there. So a lot of people go down there, they try to see if they can find something to go down, because they don't want to go all the way around, but there's nothing. It just drops off. So what you see over there just basically continues around. So I'm gonna head back up. Actually, I'll show you some of the views from here. So so over here, that is Kaaterskill High Peak, one of the Catskill peaks over 3,500 feet. one of the high peaks. Heading out toward there. I can't tell which that is. I'd have to check the map. But go working your way back toward there. You'd have the Cortina ski area, which has been closed for a while, and then Hunter Mountain further down, which is still open. Got a couple houses in there. So at one time, people were being told that Kaaterskill and Hunter, these were the highest peaks in the Catskills. Later, we realized that Slide Mountain in Ulster County was the highest. So this has got a good water flow right now. Sometimes in the summer, it'll almost be dried up at times. I think it's always flowing, but it'll be just like a little trickle. Other times it's a lot more. So between this whole series of falls, the total height on this makes this the highest waterfall in New York State, higher than Niagara Falls. But that's taking into consideration all the sections of it, not just this one area. Of course, the Niagara Falls is much more famous because it's a whole lot bigger, wider, and a whole lot more volume as the Niagara River and Lake Erie comes flowing through it. But that edge there, yep, where that water's coming down, that's where people will be sitting and they slip and they fall down, and that's it for them. Their weekend trip is ruined. But on a happier note, start to head back up. Got another sign here explaining the falls. So originally Cabinet Top, 1852, became a 50 visitor boarding house. And Laurel House was enlarged in 1891 to hold 300 visitors. Closed in 1963. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, DEC, took over. And in 1967, on a Sunday morning when nobody was around, and there had been no prior announcements of it, they showed up and burnt the hotel down. So here we see a picture of what the hotel looked like with the falls down below it. And they would have had a little dam there where they could have turned the water on and off. So that's... So head back up. And again, this is... It'll sound like a little bit of ice just fell. So this is actually a nice trail. It's like something you'd see out west in California or Colorado, some of the trails out there. So back up at this original intersection, that section going to the trail, the original road up to the parking lot. And this is probably the original carriage road down to the hotel. Just head back up the new trail. So again, this is a section like coming through these pine trees here. It really does feel like you're out west. It's not a whole lot of nice trails in the east. So this is definitely say one of the good ones. Let's continue on. And of course, the best view from any hike is when you see that trail register. I don't have one here, but you realize you're back at the parking lot and your hike is over and you can finally rest. So we're back here at the parking lot. Let's take a little walk down this trail. This is the Kaaterskill Rail Trail. Along here in the parking lot area. It's nice and clean, no ties, no tripping hazards. But once you get out of this area is where it would end up being a mess. So maybe I'll try doing a repeat with the bike and see if if they fixed this up or not. Originally, you couldn't go all the way through, I don't think, to the station in the museum. You had to exit off of it. But I think they opened that up. So, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Tilly's Rambles. If you like my videos, click like, subscribe, share them, tell your friends. I haven't been on this for a while, but now that I have new phone, new camera, hopefully get a bunch of videos coming in throughout the Hudson Valley and elsewhere, wherever my travels take me. So thank you for joining me and have a good day.